Story 1. I would explain to my cat that when I leave for work, I am not abandoning her. I am doing it so she can have things like wet food, toys, and veterinary bills. Story 2. Me to my dog. I love you very much. I love the baby very much. I am not hurting the baby when she cries. I am trying to help her. Your screaming right next to us is not helping. Me to my cat. You are the most expensive free thing I have gotten. Do not eat plastic. It kills you. Story 3. I currently have an elderly cat who has exhibited some behavior changes and is rapidly losing a lot of weight. I would ask him to describe his symptoms to me so I can get him the medical care he needs. Story 4. I am heading into the woods to find the grand squirrel, and I will tell him that if his people keep trying to invade my attic, I will keep stopping them. However, if they agree to stop entering my home, I will leave 25% of the nuts on the ground and fall. Story 5. I will try to explain to my cat that no, he does not need to fear starvation if he sees the bottom of his bowl. Then we would take it to the next level, and I would tell him that when it rains everywhere, regardless of which side of the house he wants to go out of. I have nothing to do with it, so there is no point in meowing at me. Okay. Story 6. I am talking to the large groundhog in my yard and asking it why it is so overweight and why it decided to bring its large friend along as well. Story 7. Teach my cats nonviolent communication so they can have healthy, respectful, adult disagreements instead of hissing, biting, and clawing. Story 8. Two types of people here: the let me endearingly talk to my pets kind, and the time to curse the local woodland animals type. Story 9. Felix, why have you been sick on the stairs carpet again? Why couldn't you do it a meter over and on the tiled floor? We've been through this so many times. You are being difficult. I want him to understand. Story 10. I would seek out a horse so I could ask it what it thinks about when it is just standing in a field all day. Story 11. I would talk to my dog and explain that if she were not so impulsive and lacking self-control, she could go out and roam around our 2 acres to her heart's content, sniffing everything for as long as she wants. However, since I know and she knows she would run off and pester the first person she sees for hugs and pets, she cannot be let off leash for a second. Also, growling and barking at me when I am eating does not mean I will eat faster so she can get the leftovers. Story 12. I would explain to my elderly dog that I already fed him. Then probably have to explain to him again 20 minutes later that I already fed him. I would beg him to understand that he can only have dinner once, and he would probably live longer if he were not so overweight, because I cannot take his whining and end up giving him more food when, as previously discussed, I already fed him. Also, please wait until he is completely out the door before starting to pee. I would say, just because you can smell outside does not mean you are outside. Story 13. First conversation? Definitely with my cat. I need to know if the 3 a.m. Zoom eyes are personal or just recreational. Story 14. I am reminding my cat that there are 4 other litter boxes she can use if her preferred one is not immediately cleaned after she uses it, and to stop urinating on my floor instead. Story 15. Why is it that when you use your litter box, you do not turn around and urinate outside the box onto the floor? You always crouch to urinate when you are outside. Why can't you manage to do that in the litter box? Story 16. Hey, rats, if you stay on the southwest side of the yard and leave us the rest, we will not have to interfere with your lives. Story 17. I would ask my cat why she always needs to lie in the middle of my small kitchen floor when I am there, or why she always wants to be right under my feet even though I accidentally step on her paw or tail about once a month. Story 18. I would tell my dog how much I love her and to stay young forever. Then I would ask what I could do to make her happy. Story 19. I would tell my dog that I am allergic to him, which is why I can only pet him for a short time. If I were not allergic, I would pet him all day because I love him very much. Story 20. I am heading to the zoo to talk to a sad orangutan. When I was there last, he looked me in the eyes, and his sadness was unforgettable. He should not be in that prison. Story 21. Are you feeding me yet? Long-haired calico. Can you feed me now? One-eyed orange. Excuse me, but I would really enjoy eating now. Short-haired calico. Guys, I need to go to the bathroom first. Me. Would it help if I show you my belly? 3 times. Story 22. I would explain to my dog that the reason I have not been around much in the last few years is because I had to move away for work. I love him and I look forward to seeing him every time I come home. I am sorry I am not home more. To my sister's cat, I do not need to pet you all the time. Sometimes we can just sit on the chair together without me constantly petting you. My arm gets sore, and I am trying to watch television. Please stop being so needy. Story 23. I don't know how long this talking will last, so I call Soba the cat and Momo the dog over. I tell them that if they are ever sick or in pain, to put their paw on my foot and I will get them help. Of course, if they can talk, they are free to tell me what is wrong, but remember the foot thing too, just in case. Story 24. One of my cats was delivered to my door by the cat distribution system. I live in a rural area with no other houses nearby. She is very tame and friendly, so I would ask her where she came from and how she ended up at my house. Then I would tell her how glad we are that she moved in. Story 25. My cat is about to be 13 years old, and I just want him to know how much I have cherished his companionship all this time. He has been with me through breakups, moves, job changes, 2 pregnancies, and is now doing his best to make friends with my rambunctious children. I adore him, and I want him to know how much I love him, even though I am too tired to snuggle 90% of the time. Story 26. Start trying to create an army of spiders to force the ants in my wall to move out. Poison has not killed them off yet. Explain to the spiders. To me, you are welcome, but avoid my brother and my bedroom. Story 27. I would explain to my cat that I need a full night's sleep. His waking me up every few hours is driving me insane. Story 28. I would explain to my new hedgehog that he is safe. We are not trying to hurt him. Quilling is very painful, and we are doing all we can to reduce the pain for him. I love him. Story 29. I would ask my oldest cat why she dislikes the newest cat so much. She is okay with the middle cat and okay with the other newest cat. But this one, apparently he is not welcome. Story 30. I tell my dogs all the different reasons I need to leave the house. Assure them that I will always come back, and that I love them more than anything on earth. Story 31. First, I would tell my cats that I love them very much. Then, I would explain to one of my cats that jumping on my head when I am trying to sleep is not a fun game for me, and that is why the cats are not allowed in the bedroom. If he promises to not attack any body parts anymore, I will allow them in the bedroom again. Story 32. I would call a meeting of all the clothes moths in my house and tell them that I will buy them a ball of the finest cashmere yarn, which they can snack on as much as they like. I will replace it when they have eaten it all, as long as they do not eat any of my clothes or carpets. Story 33. I am going to ask my snakes if they want more plants or fewer plants. I am asking my dogs if they love me as much as I love them. I am asking my spiders what it is like to be an apex predator and beautiful at the same time. My rat is just going to ask to hang out. He is my buddy. Story 34. I have more than a few animals. About 20 chickens, a dog, 4 cats, 3 goats, and 2 cockatiels. Neil the cockatiel has watched it all unfold in front of him for 24 years. He has seen my son grow up, me age, and many beloved cats and dogs pass away from old age. I am going to talk with him and hear his perspective. He has listened to and seen movies and elections come and go, including coverage on MSNBC. He has seen it all and seems to be in good health. I wanted him to talk, and maybe he tries. He can whistle the beginning of the 1812 overture the best. He struggles with Ode to Joy, but I am going to talk with him. He has secrets. Story 35. I would ask my dog what he has nightmares about. I would ask him how he got hurt and what his life was like before we got him. Story 36. I'm telling my parents Dachshund that we will help her on and off the couch. She doesn't need to jump. I would also tell her that I don't want to hold the part of the toy she just chewed on. So please stop trying to take the dry part away from me. Story 37. Finally, I could explain to my cat when he is at the back door with a bird or some other little innocent animal in his mouth, wanting to share it with me, that I have no interest in preparing a sparrow for dinner or dropping a vole into my stew pot. I also wonder how it is that he never came back wearing the breakaway collars with bells I put on him to alert those innocent little animals. Not even once. Story 38. Ask my dog why she gets on the kitchen table. There is nothing interesting on it. She runs across the kitchen and jumps on it, and then cannot get down. I would like to ask my cat why she brings mice for me to catch whenever she plays outside. When I have plenty of food, you do not need to feed us. We will be okay with human food, thanks. Story 39. To the horses, do you actually see anything in the woods when you all turn at the same time and stare? Story 40. He has a lot on his mind. I am sure he has plenty of questions as well. Story 41. I am bribing the fire ants with whatever is necessary to make them leave our property forever. But you have killed millions of us with your poisons. Why should we trust you now? Story 42. I would be talking to my gecko to ask him why he refuses to catch his worms and why he wants to sleep in his poop corner. Story 43. Go over the house rules with my dogs, ask the fish if the water is fine, and tell my hens that being broody is a fruitless endeavor. Story 44. I need to have a chat with the squirrels in my front oak tree. Then I will tell the grackles and mockingbirds to go away. Story 45. Please learn to put away your claws because they are digging into my chest right now. If you could move off me without launching the weight of 1,000 suns into my stomach, that would be awesome too. Story 46. I am talking to the lap cat who needs every day. I need to explain why it is not comforting for me, although I understand it is for her. Story 47. I'm explaining to my cats that no, they do not get breakfast 30 minutes early if they stand on top of me and howl. You know what my alarm sounds like? It has not gone off yet, has it? Story 48. I would tell my dog how much I love him. Then I would go outside and try to explain to the birds that eating bread is not good for them. Story 49. I would ask my parents' dog why he started barking at 2:45 this morning and at the same time last Friday morning. Story 50. Me. Do you realize I am allergic to you? And that is why you sleep on my head after I am asleep? Cat. No. It is because you are my favorite. Story 51. Look, Rigby Raccoon. I'm just saying Percy and Pearl Possum would totally want to hang out with you and your buddy. They also stop by my house to eat at night or in the morning. Story 52. I would tell my sugar glider that when I feed her, she does not need to be so sassy and hiss as if I am going to take her food away. Side note. She is actually really sweet and just means business when it comes to food. Story 53. Finding Johnny Depp's dog and asking who really defecated in the bed, you or Amber Heard. The world needs to know. Story 54. I would have a conversation with my cat, Merlin, about why he feels that under my desk is the best place to urinate. Story 55. We have a family therapy session, and I ask the three cats why sometimes they are good with each other and snuggle, and why other times it is hissy murder time between them. Story 56. I would try talking to the neighborhood crows. I hear they are very smart birds who are loyal to people they like and mean to people they do not. I would offer them some food to get on their good side and maybe see if they would be willing to poop on my enemies. Story 57. I would have a pleasant talk with the birds outside to see if I can convince them to defecate on the neighbor's car. Story 58. I would ask my dog if he thinks dogs have a soul and if he thinks he is going to heaven. I would very much like to see my childhood dog again. 35 years later, I still miss him. Story 59. Asking cats everywhere if they can sense when someone is allergic and if they then start crowding them and begging for love. Story 60. I would ask my orange boy kitty what he is saying to me when we have this back and forth call and response. Heath meow. Me what is it, boy? Heath meow. Me I know. Heath meow. Story 61. With my cat named Jonesy. He already tries to talk like a human, so that is not really far-fetched in our scenario. The first words from him would be, "Where is my food?" Pretty much like in real life. My guinea pigs are pretty much the same. I would want to ask them what it feels like to popcorn. It looks like so much fun. Story 62. Our dogs. I love you both. Is there anything I can do to make you comfortable? We have a 2-year-old Great Pyrenees that has issues getting up but walks and runs fine, and an 11-year-old chocolate Labrador mix. Story 63. Explaining to my dogs why they both really need to go to the bathroom on their pads, not everywhere else in the house. The money I spend cleaning up after them could go toward more treats. Story 64. I would most likely have to explain to my cats why, even though I have a large bag of cat food in the closet and a pretty big can in the kitchen, they still only get a little bit at a time. One of them will have to explain to me why he is walking around the apartment howling from 6:30 every weekend morning. Even though there is plenty of food, the litter boxes are clean, and the balcony door is open. I hope he does not bring up the mystery of what happened to his testicles. Story 65. I am looking for a rabbit who might have the answer to one of the world's oldest questions. Does dirt stick to your fur? Story 66. I would explain to my cat that waking me up at 5 a.m. to ask for food makes it harder for me to work, so I can buy the food in the first place. Story 67. I would ask my senior cats about their quality of life and see what I could do to help them. Story 68. Asking my cat why he is such an asshole and loves my husband more than me when I was the one who rescued him, and my husband did not even want him. Story 69. Asking my German Shepherd Husky mix what she is. A stubborn individual. She is not stupid. I can watch the gears turn in her head as she debates doing something she knows she is not supposed to. Story 70. You know, Bo, this reminds me of a dream I had, except you were made out of potatoes instead. What is wrong with your head? Story 71. I would loudly address all the spiders and any other predators like house centipedes, placing a bounty on the heads of every pantry moth and their larvae. I do not know what the spiders would want in return, but I am sure we could work something out. Possibly, the pantry moths will get spooked and move out, but I doubt it. Story 72. Explaining to my dogs what fireworks are and that even though it is loud, they are safe and do not need to be scared. Story 73. My dog is 14 years old, deaf, and I think she is developing dementia. I want to know if she is in pain, confused, or scared. Story 74. To my cat. I am so sorry they make human snacks in bags just like cat treats. I promise I am not trying to torture you. Story 75. Reiterate and discuss how not many cats get to go on walks and that if they destroy the window screens, the fresh air gets really sad because the window closes. Story 76. I would go find the bears that keep coming into human areas. I would explain to them that yes, there is food and people are afraid of them, but they are not a threat. However, because of this, they will be killed if they do not stay away. Story 77. I will ask if my cat is happy, if she wishes we had a yard, a big house, or if she resents being an apartment cat. It is one of my biggest guilts. I wish I could give her more. Story 78. My cat is about to punish me for not getting up at 4 a.m. to feed him breakfast according to his wordless screams. Story 79. Marshmallow, what is on the agenda today? When should I schedule cat play? And where would you like to do your street watching? Story 80. First, talk to my cats. I have many questions about their behavior. Second, talk to my pet ants. I have many questions. Story 81. I would have a serious conversation with the multi-generational fruit fly family and warn them about the destruction that is coming if they do not stop flying in my face while I am trying to work from home. Story 82. Ask my cats what they want to be happy and if they feel okay. 2 of them are senior cats. If they are hurting, I want to know. Story 83. I am having an uncomfortable conversation with my cat about what the veterinarian took from him. We also had a few arguments about how it might be insulting to call them fluffy fat penguins. Story 84. Meet a honey badger. Dude, you are awesome. Can I ask you what is up with your aggression? Honey badger. I would say it is because I deal with difficult people like you every day. Now leave before I attack your femoral artery. Story 85. Explaining to my dog Betty that I love her very much, but she has to stop licking me all the time. She also needs to let me cut her nails. Story 86. Seriously, cat, you have got to stop bringing live prey in. I do not mind the dead prey as much, but could you please pick a spot other than the poorly lit hallway rug? Stepping on dead voles is unpleasant. Story 87. I'm asking that crow why he is so loud right by my window first thing in the morning. Walnuts in it for you, buddy, if you just wait until 8. Story 88. I am getting a group of magpies to protect me, fly above, help me with directions, and find shiny coins. Story 89. I am going to tell my dog that he does not need to pull my arm off when we are walking. Calm down. We will get to the field at the same time whether he is pulling or walking beside me. Story 90. When I am reaching my hand up to your head, I am not trying to play fight with you. I am trying to love you. Love through violence. No kitty. Bloodlust. Story 91. I am going to tell the chickens in my street to stop screaming before 5 a.m. They can do it before 7 a.m., but any earlier than that is a bit much. Story 92. I would apologize for the wrongs we have committed as humans and then bond with all of them. Thankfully, animals understand the importance of the natural cycle of life and the food chain, and do not hold it against us for killing and eating them. I also would not apologize for eating some of them. However, I would apologize for any senseless atrocities we have committed and then befriend them. Story 93. I would harm myself. I do not want to waste my social energy on anyone other than humans. They are sufficient. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.